Coming up, the National Guard deployment temporarily blocked in Illinois. A pastor hit in the head with a pepper ball at an ICE protest. The Cubs force Game 5 in the playoffs. Plus, Sister Jean passes away at 106 years old. Save money on holiday shopping. And check out one of the scariest places in Chicagoland. This is your Fox 32 Week in Review.
And local leaders are now speaking out about that ruling. Thank you for joining us. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. The partial ruling means the National Guard cannot be deployed in Chicago or Illinois. The judge will release her written ruling tomorrow. She says the defense did not prove the conditions on the ground rise to the level of needing to deploy the military. She claims it violated the 10th and 14th Amendment. The Attorney General, Kwame Raoul, is praising the ruling, saying it's all about the evidence.
This was about credibility. You heard about the attempt, some of the declarations of acts, alleged acts against ICE officers where they sought out a grand jury indictment that was denied. There's an old saying about indicting a ham sandwich. The defendants in this case couldn't put together a ham sandwich.
The governor of Illinois posting to social media about the ruling, saying in part today, the court confirmed what we all know. There is no credible evidence of a rebellion in the state of Illinois and no place for the National Guard in the streets of American cities like Chicago.
Chicago's mayor also commenting on the ruling, claiming victory. He says in part, the judge established that the Trump administration is unreliable. They lie, misrepresent, and put people in danger. We will continue to use all of the tools at our disposal to end the Trump administration's war on Chicago.
Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle also saying on the ruling, in part, these rulings affirm what we've said all along. Real public safety comes from opportunity, stability, and dignity. We need investments in jobs, housing, education, and health care, not federal forces patrolling our streets.
Democratic Senator Dick Durbin speaking about the military deployment in Illinois and the Chicago area. He says the president is not listening to the message from our local communities.
That message was clear from the business leaders in my state, but President Donald Trump didn't care what they had to say. He wanted to deploy our nation's military to Illinois to spread fear and sow chaos. And in both those efforts, sad to say, he's succeeding.
Durbin also reiterating there is no need for the National Guard in Illinois.
Many people are wondering about the impact of the National Guard and ICE agents roaming around in our community. At a meeting today, local activists say while the community is on edge, it's also showing its strength.
Literally killing our people physically, mentally, but we cannot allow their hate, their racism to overcome what we know we have, which is love for our community, strength for our community, and unity.
They also urge people to not stay silent and to protest peacefully.
New details tonight in the shooting of a woman by ICE agents here in Chicago.
Tensions continue to rise at the ICE detention facility in Broadview as a pastor is captured on video getting shot with a rubber bullet. The footage shows protesters gathered outside the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility. They appear to be peacefully shouting toward agents positioned on the roof. Suddenly, one of those agents opens fire with a pepper ball launcher. One of the projectiles strikes Pastor David Black of First Presbyterian Church in Woodlawn, hitting him in the head. He is seen collapsing to the ground as fellow demonstrators rush to his side. In response to the incident, the American Civil Liberties Union released a statement Monday saying Pastor Black and other demonstrators are seeking an emergency court order to stop what they describe as the, quote, illegal and brutal suppression of their First Amendment rights.
This new information and inconsistencies are making people question the federal government's version of what happened. Court records reveal Border Patrol agents on the scene were all equipped with body-worn cameras. This all happened on October 4th. When this shooting took place, only 3 cameras were actually activated.
Female call station been shot in the arm and legs, and an ICE agent shot her.
From talking to the agents over here, that individual was the lone driver of that vehicle and was part of a caravan that were trying to interrupt ICE operations at the time of the shooting. she's potentially going to be an offender at this point. Let's make sure we keep an officer with her.
So let's walk through what we've learned here. Miramar Martinez was following ICE agents in Brighton Park. This is allegedly not Broadview, as Homeland Security claimed. She was alerting residents to ICE patrols in the area, and behind her, Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz followed in a separate SUV. Federal officials said in tweets and in their narrative that you see right there on your screen, that was to the media that agents were, quote, boxed in by 10 cars, and that one driver who rammed them was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. But witnesses say agents were not boxed in, and police scanner audio confirms Martinez's gun stayed in her purse. She's a U.S. citizen with a valid concealed carry license and wasn't charged for having the weapon. Photos show Martinez's dark-colored SUV hit on the passenger side, Ruiz's black SUV damaged in front, and only minor damage to a silver federal vehicle. Martinez was shot 5 times. The Chicago Sun-Times reports that her lawyer said in court the body cam footage shows just before the shooting, an agent was seen holding an assault rifle and saying, quote, do something B-word. The case raises serious questions about the government's narrative.
The weapon is still in the purse. The vehicle does have what appears to be first damage on the passenger side, as if it was side struck with another vehicle.
Now, a spokesperson for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem called the incident part of a broader pattern of violence against immigration agents during the Trump administration's Operation Midway Blitz. Martinez and Ruiz, they are not in police custody. They are charged, though, with forcibly assaulting, impeding, and interfering with a federal law enforcement officer, which carries up to 20 years in prison.
Snelling speaking out for the first time since these immigration enforcement efforts have ramped up, seeking to respond to the events of this weekend, where groups of vehicles allegedly followed and rammed federal immigration agents, and where a woman was shot by federal agents after allegedly attempting to hit them with her car. Now, Snelling is responding to viral social media reports that an order was given by Chief of Patrol John Hine to not respond to a 12:28 p.m. call asking for help. Snelling saying there was no such order given, although there might have been some miscommunication, because Hine did not want to send cops unprepared without riot gear and gas masks. Cops did eventually respond to that scene 40 minutes later. There have been many social media posts calling for his removal, Snelling's removal, but Snelling making it clear he believes it's all politics.
When we show up to a scene and a crowd gathers, CPD is going to step out there. We're going to make sure that we maintain that scene and we keep people calm. This is our city, and we're going to make sure that we bring some type of calm or resolution to whatever's going on at that scene.
Snelling also hitting back at criticism that the police aren't arresting federal agents, saying they do not have the authority to arrest other law enforcement, also making clear that ramming, following around federal law enforcement agents is plainly illegal and risks endangering the lives of officers and community members alike.
If you ram any vehicle, especially that one that contains law enforcement agents, and that's any law enforcement, local, state, federal, county, and you do this intentionally, this is considered deadly force. Deadly force is anything that can cause great bodily harm or death. When you plow into a vehicle that contains law enforcement agents, you're using deadly force. And they can use deadly force in response to stop you.
Snelling also reminding people that under Chicago's welcoming city law, goes all the way back to the 1980s, police cannot assist federal agents in immigration enforcement, nor can they impede, which does put that agency in a tough position.
I'm wearing my Cubs gear here because the Cubs pulled it off. They have forced a final and decisive Game 5 in the National League Division Series and an opportunity to face the Dodgers. So they're headed back to Milwaukee tomorrow to take on the Brewers. Joining us now to break it all down is Barstool Eddie, who was at that game last night. He has brought them nothing but good luck since going to all of those games. Eddie, let's start off first of all. Give us a feel. What was the environment like at last night's game, even before the first inning heroics there for me at half?
It's incredible. I went to 4 out of the 5 home playoff games so far, and that was by far the craziest. I think it totally has to do with the weather turning a little bit. It was our first true night game. That's what October at Wrigley Field should feel like. It was incredible.
All right, Ian Happ he's been, quite frankly, dreadful in the postseason here. He makes Freddie Peralta paid for that high fastball, and we get off to another incredible first inning. But then, unlike what has seemed to be the case all of the other games, we added to that. Do you think that's a trend that the Cubs offense can continue tomorrow night?
Yeah, listen, it was great to see that we got some runs outside of the first inning, because that was the trend, right? We'd score in the first and then we'd go cold. So the fact that we kept going, we kept pushing, Kyle Tucker homered, Michael Busch hit another home run. The fact that these guys seem like they're getting hot at the right time could be huge on Saturday.
Matthew Boyd couldn't get out of his own way, really, in game one. He only threw 30 pitches. Do you think he redeemed himself, last night? I certainly do.
100%. I don't really put Saturday on him a ton either, to be honest with you. I think that was Council's fault. Council shouldn't have threw him. I think that should have been a bullpen game. I think we're looking at a totally different slotted rotation if he doesn't do that. But granted, we're here. It's 2-2. We just got to win on Saturday, so we can't be crying over that stuff anymore. But happy to see Boyd do it. I felt good about him the whole way.
All right, well, that raises the question, who the heck are we going to pitch tomorrow night? I don't think you or I or too many Cubs fans want to see Shota Imanaga trotting out there to start the game. Is there a chance that a certain rookie might come out of injured status and throw tomorrow night?
Listen, if anyone's going to pull the old Sammy Sosa, someone might sneeze and hurt their back, now is the time to do it. Take the weekend off. Take a trip to the IL. We'll appreciate you for it. Let's call Cade Horton back, and we'll give him the ball on Saturday. I think Cubs fans would be fired up if that happened. Will it happen? Probably not, but listen, that would be a hell of a storyline for sure.
All right, real quick, and 10 seconds left. Pressure on the Cubs or on the Brewers?
Brewers, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, the shocking Truth Social post was met with swift reaction from the two subjects in that post. This afternoon, Governor Pritzker had a simple response to the president's threats.
He's a coward. He says a lot of things to the camera. He likes to pretend to be a tough guy. Come and get me. What kind of a country are we living in where the president of the United States is targeting his political opponents? I mean, that is the world that we're living in now, where he is calling out. He said he was going to jail Gavin Newsom. He says he's going to jail me. He says he's going to jail the mayor of the city of Chicago. These are people who stand against him, disagree with him, speak out about it, but literally have done nothing wrong. We are doing the people's business by standing up for them.
The president hasn't indicated what law he believes the mayor or governor have violated, but we do know the Department of Justice has acted to prosecute folks that the president has directed them to, like James Comey, who today pleaded not guilty. Now, all of this comes amid the fallout from this weekend when police initially were told not to respond to ICE agents' calls, but then eventually did 40 minutes later. It's become a flashpoint among supporters of the president trying to create the message that this was a public safety violation. Today, President Trump held what he referred to as a roundtable on Antifa at the White House and used the opportunity with his cabinet to dig in further against Chicago.
These leaders in these local cities, along with Pritzker and Johnson, ignore what's going on, or, sir, they're helping Antifa cover it up.
Meanwhile, Mayor Johnson responded to the president's threat with this quote: "This is not the first time Trump has tried to have a black man unjustly arrested. I'm not going anywhere." The mayor perhaps referring to the Central Park 5 case from many decades ago.
Seventh time is apparently not the charm. The Senate voted for the 7th time this afternoon on the GOP funding bill. It fell short of the 60 votes needed to pass. Senator Rand Paul was the lone GOP no vote.
Well, Dawn, with no end in sight to the government shutdown, some 34,000 IRS workers are being furloughed. The agency says most operations would shut down with the exception of data security and tax filing season operations. Furloughed workers were reportedly told they will receive back pay once the shutdown ends, but President Trump has said that's not guaranteed. In a statement, the union representing IRS employees condemned the move and warned, quote, taxpayers around the country will now have a much harder time getting the assistance they need just as they get ready to file their extension returns. The shutdown is also causing staffing issues. We reported this at air traffic control towers, resulting in delays at airports nationwide. This is a live look actually at O'Hare, which had a ground delay because of shortages earlier this week. Right now, everything seems to be returning as normal. Controllers are expected to show up without pay, but more are calling out sick. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says typically 5% of delays are attributed to staffing shortages. In the last few days, it's been 53%.
We will slow down traffic. We will stop traffic if we can't control the airspace safely, because that's the number one mission. Flying on time is not the mission. Safety is the mission.
Well, since the start of the shutdown, 14,000 controllers have been working without pay. Aviation unions and U.S. airlines have called for the shutdown to end as soon as possible. The unions are also making appeals to food banks, grocery chains, and airports to secure support for workers during this shutdown. Of course, this is a story we will follow closely. Dawn?
Thank you.
Coming up, Loyola legend Sister Jean passes away. Navigating downtown during bridge work. And an inside look at how tariffs are collected.
Farewells coming in this morning for beloved Loyola Rambler Sister Jean. She died last night at the age of 106. Sister Jean served as chaplain for the Loyola University men's basketball team for 3 decades. Her dedication and spirit made her famous when the team made it to the Final Four in 2018.
Oh my goodness, and just such great memories of that time. But we're joined now by one of our favorite fathers, Father Patrick Gilger, who is joining us of Loyola. You know, what are your memories of Sister Jean?
You know, we're going to miss her a ton around here, and so our hearts are a little bit sad this morning. You know, I woke up, I got the news last night from our president, Dr. Mark Reed. He sent a beautiful note to the community. It's very helpful for us to have somebody who we know and trust kind of expressing this loss that we're all sharing a little bit. But I woke up this morning really feeling like this is a new era for Loyola University Chicago. So long, even though we're a Jesuit Catholic school, a Jesuit school, Sister Jean has really been the face of the university. But not only face, she's also been kind of the heart of the university. She had an office right in the midst of the student center. Students were regularly in and out of there. So, of course, you know, around the city and around the country and around the world, people know her as the face of the chaplain of the basketball team, the face of our runs in the 2018, 2021. But really around here, she was present to all of the students the same way that she was present to the basketball players. And that's, I think, the thing that we're still dealing with, you know, that we're going to miss. And we trust that God will send us other good people, good sisters, we hope to help our work here. But we're going to miss Sister Jean quite a bit.
What will her legacy be there at the university? And can you share any words of wisdom that maybe she shared with you or others that you'll carry with you?
Yeah, you know, Loyola is a long-standing institution. Like, we've been around Chicago for a long time, and Jesuit education has been around much longer than that. But it's people like Sister Jean, human beings like her, that really carry that mission into reality, that it doesn't exist just on its own. We need human beings like her who are so generous and kind and attentive to other people, who can celebrate life. Like, you can see her smiling right there with these wonderful people. And she did that in her own life, not just living to 106, but living so faithfully in each of those moments. Yes, faithful to God, but also faithful to the students that she encountered, the basketball players she encountered. That happened in all kinds of little ways. She would send, emails to the basketball players after wins and after losses, just saying, how are you doing? She connected with them during COVID when everybody was separating. She herself was separated, for her own health and safety. But she did the same kind of thing with students who were in my classes, people who, are not going to be famous graduates of the institution. Her door was open to them. And so that kind of is that's really what we want Jesuit education to be about. And so we're really grateful for her. Like, we're going to miss that long care that she's given us into the future here. We have hope that her prayers, her presence now with God, will really help us to carry that same kind of presence out to our students into the future.
Yeah, Father Gilger, thank you so much. You add so much light to any situation similar to Sister Jean, and we're just so appreciative of her life and for you using yours to help in this way.
I'm sure you guys do the same. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
The Lake Street Bridge closure
causing major delays and headaches among frustrated drivers and pedestrians. Tia Ewing spent some time with them today. Tia.
Yeah, just really hours into these repairs, right? It's already burning bridges. We've heard from a lot of people that were late to work. And I want to show you kind of a different scene of what we're seeing right now of people being out here on the road. Just look for yourself. It has gotten a lot more traffic out here. And keep in mind, I just want to point this out. In the morning, when we're talking about peak times for traffic, 6 a.m. to around 9 a.m. with the worst congestion being around 7 and 9. And in the evening, 3 to 7. And then it gets really bad between 4 and 6. We are in the thick of it right now. And as you can see, it is definitely backed up. We're at Wacker and Wells. We're not even really at the bridge. We're about 2 blocks away from the bridge right now. We've heard honking horns, people completely upset dealing with this traffic gridlock that is moving pretty slow. I want to show you some video as well that we took a little earlier today. This was going down Wacker Drive, going right towards the 109-year-old bridge. Traffic instantly started to back up. We then went towards the direction of the Kennedy Expressway. We experienced delays there as well. And for those driving early in the morning during the peak of the AM rush, it was gridlocked, and a lot of people told us it was a real pain.
You say horrible. What made it so bad? How long were you in that traffic?
The traffic, 30 minutes. Stop and go. I was just telling my friend, how am I going to get to work? I got to try another route.
It's kind of annoying. Like, we have to go around, but it's not too big of a deal. I think maybe once winter time comes, it might be different. If there's like snow and like more hazardous conditions.
Now, the bridges that are under repair got backed up too. This is a look at the Kinsey Street Bridge, just a half mile away from the Lake Street Bridge. And you can see that traffic was pretty bad. The Lake Street Bridge shut down Monday for a full rehabilitation project, one that's expected to last until January of 2028. That's over 800 days. We got a picture from the Chicago Department of Transportation, and it shows the proposed improvements during this time. They're going to replace the deck system. That's really the area that supports the portion of the roadway that we drive on. They're also replacing the CTA tracks where the pink and green lines shuffle back and forth, and they're fixing the foundation, moving parts and electrical systems of a bridge, just to name a few. Now, some critics can't help but ask this question: how has it taken nearly 3 years just to repair the bridge when it only took 2 years to build the entire thing from scratch? We're talking the years 1914 to 1916.
It's tough with bridges like this. You have to, in effect, probably manufacture parts to replace it. That bridge is long out of production and the specialty. And adding the difficulty, we can't close the Lake Street L for an extended period. So we're forced to fix the rest of the bridge, you might say, with one hand tied behind our back. That has the effect of dragging things out to avoid transit disruptions. Really tough for motorists, though, to see that timeline.
Yeah, we rolled down the windows here because I wanted you to hear some of those honking horns. We've only gone down a block. We're at Franklin and Wacker right now. I'm sure you hear some of that blowing of the horns in the distance. And you see, a lot of pedestrians out here as well. More pedestrians because they can't access the Lake Street Bridge. Now, we do have detours on our website, fox32chicago.com, and I would suggest those to you. But the unfortunate part about this is what we have heard from those that are out here on the road. They used those same detours and they didn't help this morning. A lot of people say they were late. Here's, I guess, the good news in all of this. Ultimately, CDOT says what's going to be the result of all of this. They're saying that the bridge will be safer for everyone to use. And as you know, in the West Loop, that portion of the city has seen a huge boom of residential and also commercial space. So a lot more people are out there on the bridge. So we definitely need it to be safer. Of course, this is just today, but we got 800 more days to get through.
We are getting a rare look at how the tariff collection process works.
Max Gordon takes us inside an inspection warehouse in California.
When goods come to our ports from overseas, it's up to Customs and Border Protection to collect those tariffs and make sure they're paid to the federal government. In fact, behind the IRS, CBP is the second highest revenue generating agency. And in the first 8 months of this year, CBP has collected $170 billion in tariffs. Largely, the tariff collection process happens electronically. Brokers submit information like country of origin and type of cargo, and tariffs are collected from importers based off of that info. But if something seems off, the cargo is flagged and comes to one of CBP's several massive warehouses at the ports for what's known as a high-risk inspection.
So duty evasion happens in different ways. There's undervaluation, where they're telling us, hey, this good is only worth $1,000 when really it could be worth $10,000. So with that, they could be paying less duty when they assign less value to it. There's also misclassification, where they're assigning a different tax code that does not belong. Most of the time people want to assign it to a duty-free tax code when in fact it could be 6 or 7% more.
Then there's a practice called transshipment, where a product originates in one country but is labeled as coming from another country with a lower tariff. CBP also prevents the illegal importation of certain goods into the U.S. That can range from counterfeit luxury items like this suspicious pallet opened in front of us that was filled with fake designer handbags, to goods that can harm U.S. agriculture, which are detected by dogs, to dangerous products that don't adhere to safety regulations, to deadly drugs like fentanyl.
I can go right back to my very own family and think about the impact it's had, right? And protect young kids going to school. You don't want them to, exposed to, things like fentanyl, the challenges that are out there today.
Since President Trump took office, there have been 34 tariff-related executive orders.
1 week left for Hispanic Heritage Month. So now is the time to celebrate, support the local businesses, and of course experience the richness of Chicago's Hispanic culture. Here to tell us how we can do that on deadline, Roz Stutley of Choose Chicago. Roz, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Let's start off by talking about, hey, what neighborhoods should we maybe kind of zero in on here?
Which is one of my favorite things to highlight. We have some rich cultural neighborhoods that reflect the Hispanic Latino community, like Pilsen, where you can go and explore their murals. If you haven't done that yet, check out Pilsen Public Arts Tours. They do a phenomenal walking tour of the murals in the Pilsen community, as well as the food tour also in that community. So that's one neighborhood.
So good. Humboldt Park as well. I see your earrings are cool.
I know.
Yeah.
I bought these at the gift shop at the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture. So I highly recommend visiting that museum as well. Beautiful museum, great storytelling, great art on display as well, and a great community to explore up in Humboldt Park. Great eateries as well that you can go to. Nellie's is up there. Pasta, you gotta get a jibarito while you're in Humboldt Park. So yeah, really good stuff.
Making me hungry already. I understand the libraries also have some programs.
Libraries have programming up until October 15th. And then of course, beyond Hispanic Heritage Month, you can also explore. But the National Mexican Museum of Fine Art is also another great museum to explore in the Pilsen community as well. You can explore Mexican culture, South American culture, Central American culture. So many different facets of the Hispanic Latino community are reflected in Chicago.
Walking tours would be especially great because Caitlin said we're going to be back into the 70s
I love
next
it.
week. So the
Yeah,
weather's going to
Tell
hold.
my friend Louise hello.
Indeed, indeed. All right, so what, I also want to talk, Roz, about ways that we can support Hispanic-owned businesses, small businesses here during this month to shine the spotlight on them.
There's so many great local businesses to support. Dineries, eateries, street vendors. It's incredibly important to support them, and they're all throughout the city, so check for them in your own neighborhood. Go to ChooseChicago.com, check out our neighborhood site. We have a variety of businesses that we highlight across the community. There's theater as well to support, so lots of great opportunities out there.
How do you structure it on the website if people want to zero in? I know that the internet is so full of information, sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. What are they going to find if they log on to specifically look for this topic?
Well, if you go to ChooseChicago.com, we have a great section on our website of our neighborhoods, so you can sort by neighborhood, Pilsen, Humboldt Park. You can also support by interest. We have the Hispanic Latino Culture Guide that we launched last year, which is a great resource. We have a Hispanic Latino Heritage inspired blog that we posted also. So we've got some great content sorted by interest and culture as well.
One more question before you leave. One more reminder where you picked up the earrings.
I shopped at the gift shop at the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture. They are highlighting local artists there. Got a cute little journal there as well. So I definitely encourage you to visit that museum. Tell Billy and Veronica hello. They've got a great team over there.
Okay, very good. I like the inspo there. One more week, everybody, to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Roz Stutley from Choose Chicago. Thank you so much.
Coming up, get your holiday shopping done and save cash. The Chicago Marathon gets underway this weekend, and the Nobel Prize winner from Illinois.
October just started. Already, stores are getting ready for the holidays, if you can believe it. So should you shop now, or are the deals better later in the season? Dawn Hasbrook has the answer in this morning's special report.
You're right to notice that the landscape of holiday shopping is changing because this year is very different from recent years and years prior.
Bruce McCleary is with the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. He's talking about the 100-day shopping countdown seen in some store ads. McCleary says it's something brought on by consumer demand and retailer needs.
So on the consumer side, there are studies out there that show that about 1 in 3 consumers have asked for a holiday shopping season to start in October or earlier. And on the retail side, the retailers also, from a competitive standpoint, they want to get those consumer dollars first before their competitors. So they're going to be they want to be the ones offering the sales early.
McCleary adds retailers also want to start early to try to avoid any possible supply chain issues where they might run out of inventory late in the holiday season. Target and Amazon are just 2 of the many retailers rolling out early sales this week for holiday shoppers.
Well, a lot of consumers are asking for it because it does help them manage their budget a little bit better. And if you're compressing all of your holiday shopping into November and December, it has a much more significant impact on your budget. But if you spread it out a little bit more throughout the year, and these early sales actually help people in that area, what we're seeing at the NFCC through our financial stress forecast and our recent Harris poll, consumers are increasingly burdened by the amount of debt they have and the state in which that debt is being managed. So a lot of consumers are falling behind right now, more so than in the past.
So before you jump online or race to the store to take advantage of these early holiday sales, keep this in mind.
Because the Christmas shopping time is longer than ever, sales dropping in October, people have more opportunities to shop, more opportunities to overspend and take on debt.
Consumer finance expert Andrea Warrock says if you are planning to start your holiday shopping early, your first step is to make a budget. She says you can do that by figuring out how much you spent last holiday season, and that if it feels like too much, you're going to have to scale back. Next step, get your gifting game plan in order.
And with your gifting game plan, you're going to write a list of all your gift recipients, and then maybe start jotting down ideas for each person and an average amount that you can afford to spend per person. My typical rule of thumb is if you are getting 30% off a purchase, that's a pretty good sale. Usually we're not seeing much bigger of a discounts, with the exception of some of those big doorbusters that are offered for around 50% off.
So how do these early sales and countdowns impact 2 of the biggest shopping days in the holiday season?
Now, chances are this year, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we will see sales, but they're not going to be as wide of offers as we usually see. They're going to most likely be a deep discount on a limited number of items. Every year I've noticed the trend with Black Friday is that you're really not seeing as many sales. There are some deals to be had, but not as big of sales.
There is a risk for early shoppers who do stick to their budgets now. They risk overspending later if they forget what they bought and buy more gifts closer to Christmas.
There are some great apps to use. I like Santa's Bag. You can list out each gift recipient, an intended budget per person, and then your actual amount you've spent per person plus what you purchased. So this is a great reference point at any moment to remember who you bought for, what you bought. And then it also shows you how much you've spent, and that is easy to lose track of as well.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice to get it all out of the way? Less stress later on. That was Dawn Hasbrook reporting for us this morning. If you are struggling with debt right now, McCleary says the best holiday gift to give yourself and others is to reach out for help now. We have more information on how to find that help over on our website, fox32chicago.com.
Hi, my name is Wes Eiler. I am running the Chicago Marathon 2025. I've been running marathons since 2015, and this will be my 25th. I got into running the marathons, and running was, I have to give it to my brother. He forced me into running cross country when I was in high school. The way I train and have trained is through joining the groups. Started off at Bussy Woods Running Group, and then ended up joining Cara. Now I'm a site coordinator there, and our training consists of about an 18-week training program. We get together to run the long runs on Saturdays, and then over the course of time, we build up the endurance to do the race. And why I like running the Chicago Marathon more than the others is just the community, the way to see the city. It's one of the faster courses. It's just one of the best experiences I've ever had with running the Chicago Marathon. Thank my wife, Joanna, and kids, Samantha and Emily, for supporting me and helping me along the way.
My name is James Diamond, and I'm the head coach for the Chicago Area Runners Association. Chicago Area Runners Association, also called CARA. We are the largest running club in the Midwest. We offer a variety of programming, including free 5Ks around the city. We also offer training for the Chicago Marathon, which is the largest group training program in the country. We're anticipating between 1,700 and 1,800 athletes to finish the marathon on Sunday. We have first-time marathoners who are just trying to finish. We teach a run-walk cycle for them, and they might only run 4 days a week, building up to a 20-mile long run at the end of a training program. But we also have athletes that are more advanced. On Boston qualifying, those athletes might be running 6 to 7 days a week. I'm going on with 20 years of competing as an athlete. I ran on the middle school, high school, college level, and now I've graduated the marathon. So I'm still actively pursuing my own goals in the marathon. The next one's Houston in January, which I'm hoping I can go under 240 for the marathon with that.
My name's Brett Geschke. I'm running Chicago Marathon for the 6th time in a row, and really looking forward to it on Sunday. So I'm on the board of directors for Chicago Area Runners Association. We train thousands of Chicagoans to get ready for the Chicago Marathon every year. We're out here on the lakefront path training Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm looking forward to running on behalf of CARA's racing team on Sunday. And I know everybody that trains with CARA is ready. So the marathon starts in Grant Park. It's 26.2 miles. You start out heading north up through Lincoln Park, Lakeview, turning around, heading back to the Loop, then back out to the United Center, heading west, before you come back, head down through University Village, Pilsen, Chinatown, heading south before you then finish back at Grant Park. Marathon training is a long ordeal. For me, it was 18 weeks. I trained with Chicago Area Runners Association, but those miles really add up. Here we are just a few days away from the race, and we're looking to cash in all those chips and run a fast time.
Today, 3 scientists won the Nobel Prize in Medicine, and one of the winners is from Illinois.
Gernal Scott has more on what they accomplished.
The 2025 Nobel Prize announcements kicked off Monday after 3 scientists, 2 in the U.S. and 1 in Japan, won the Medicine Prize for their work on peripheral immune tolerance.
This year's Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine relates to how we keep our immune system under control so we can fight all imaginable microbes.
The discoveries by Mary E. Branco, Fred Ramsdell, and Shimon Sakaguchi help the medical field grasp how the immune system attacks germs while also avoiding harm to our own bodies. The laureate's work dates back to 1995 when Sakaguchi made the first key discovery from his research on mice.
By winning the prize, I hope this research field develops further and be applied in a critical setting.
Medical experts have commended their findings, calling it critical to understanding autoimmune diseases better, including type 1 diabetes and lupus.
Immune regulation is incredibly important to study because our immune system is designed to prevent us from being attacked by pathogens, but at the same time it can attack us in the form of arthritis, multiple sclerosis.
Researchers are using the laureates' data to find enhanced treatment for diseases, improve organ transplant success, and strengthen the body's fight against cancer.
I don't know what else to say at this point. It's still, I'm sure it hasn't quite hit me yet.
The trio will share the prize's reward of almost $1.2 million. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
It is being called a miracle of modern medicine.
A 2-year-old boy from Germany who nearly lost his life in a car crash in Mexico is out of a Chicago hospital recovering. Back in April, an armored vehicle going 70 miles per hour slammed into his family's minivan during a trip to Mexico. The impact was so violent it completely disconnected Oliver's head from his spinal cord. Doctors in Mexico said he would never move his arms or legs again. He was brain dead and would die in a matter of days.
Oliver was in the back seat, in the back row, and his head was in a weird position. There was no facial features or something, so when he made it to the back, I checked on him. I screamed his name, Oliver, Oliver, Oliver. There was no reaction, and they told me they have to make a test if there's a connection between his head and his body. I came in again, and they told me there's no connection, so he will be paralyzed for the rest of his life from his neck down.
Now listen to this. His parents prepared for the 2-year-old to never move again. Most people would not survive an injury that severe, but what happened next stunned doctors around the world. His parents refused to give up. They cared for him for weeks in Mexico, knowing that one wrong move could end his life until help arrived. Through social media and the support of German soccer star Toni Kroos, his story went viral. His family raised enough money to fly him more than 2,000 miles here to Chicago. Dr. Mohammed Biden and a team at UChicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital performed 2 intricate spinal surgeries to reattach his head to his spine. The surgery spanned 2 days. And at one point, little Oliver's heart stopped. CPR was administered and he was revived. The next concern was the amount of swelling on his brain. After weeks of recovery, Oliver is not only breathing on his own, he's smiling, laughing, moving his fingers and toes. His parents call it a miracle. Doctors call it unprecedented.
His condition began to improve. He began to breathe over the vent, which is something that he had not been able to do. He began to even move his arms and legs, hands and feet. And when that initially happened, we had disbelief. We thought, no, maybe that's not happening, or oh, maybe that's some reflex or something like that.
He didn't promise us a miracle, but he delivered one.
Oliver left Comer Children's Hospital August 15th. His family is moving from Germany to Mexico to be closer to Laura's relatives. He will continue physical therapy and take medicine to reduce inflammation. In about 6 months, he should be able to remove his neck brace. The family will return to Chicago in the spring of next year when Dr. Biden may try a new stem cell treatment pending special FDA approval to help Oliver move better.
Coming up, Jake's scary tour of a haunted house, the Kingfisher at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago, and show off your work at Sneakerhead University.
It's spooky season, so of course we sent Jake to check out one of the scariest places in Chicagoland.
Jake, how's it going, my friend in Joliet?
Send Jake to prison, they said. It'll be fun, they said. He'll have a great time, they said. Yeah, we're live out here at the old Joliet Haunted Prison. It is the only haunted house in the area, and it's actually built inside an actual working prison. And let me tell you, it feels like it. You feel the vibe in every room that you're in, and there are a lot of small details that remind you of where you are. I'm here with my man Derek. Derek, you were telling me something fascinating. We're in kind of the infirmary area right now. Take a look at the walls, guys. You see some old videos being sort of projected onto the walls. Derek, tell me where these videos came from.
So a lot of these videos were actually from what happened here back in the day. A lot of them are from like old news reports from like the early 1900s.
So when you guys talk about there being an element of history to this haunted house, that's kind of what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's those small little details that really kind of take this from being just your normal haunted house to something that just feels unsettling. I gotta tell you, I was walking around the grounds earlier, and you said it best. You really just show up, and the building itself does have to work for you.
Oh yeah, we're very fortunate that like this building, we already have, you know, we built some of the sets inside of it, but like a lot of these walls, they still talk.
They really do, and I'm telling you, you know, I've sort of, the 3 hours that I've been here, I've kind of been walking around. But in addition to the haunted house, you guys have a lot of other things. You have some kind of escape rooms, you have food trucks, you have bars, because God knows some of us might need a little liquid courage.
Oh, we have everything, yeah. We try to make it a big fall experience here. So yeah, as you said, we got bars, we have escape rooms, we got a food truck. We have, like, basically you can make a whole night out of this place.
It's really a one-stop shop. You guys are running through the rest of the month and into November a little bit as well. Where can people find more information?
You can visit us at hauntedprison.com.
I gotta say, like, guys, like, just really quick, like, come in here. I gotta tell you, like, no joke. Like, I know sometimes, like, reporters come out and they're like, oh, I'm so scared, it's a haunted house. There's something about just the history of this place, like being able to, like, come into these cells that really is unsettling. Like I said, I was walking around the grounds earlier because I just wanted to see the old prison, and it's a little, it kind of shakes you up a little bit. Oh, shit. They're trying to get me because I came out here and talked about how I don't get scared on Haunted House Live Shot, so now they've made it a point.
You said their trigger words.
I know. I basically challenged them. I messed up. So before I say a word that's going to get me fired, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
I think that this would work even better, Jake, if your camera person turned off his light. Then you're going to be scared.
Oh, would it, Mike Kaplan? No!
Really exciting opportunity to see a bird that's extinct in the wild. And for the first time, visitors can check it out here at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago. I am with the president and CEO, Dr. Mike. Tell me about the Guam kingfisher.
Yeah, the Guam kingfisher, or the seahawk as it's known, is a really incredible conservation story. So these birds were extinct in the wild in the 1980s. The last animals brought into human care at a variety of different zoos. And over the years, we've been able to breed these animals effectively and are now just last year at the point of reintroducing back into the wild, which is an incredible accomplishment.
Tell me what you have here.
So these are the 9 birds that were released. Zaza's here in the middle, was actually born here at Brookfield Zoo and is now reintroduced back onto the Palmyra Atoll, which is next to Guam, which is what's being used as the sort of starting ground for this reintroduction effort.
What led to their extinction?
So it was the introduction of the brown snake onto the island in World War II, a very effective predator of a bird that evolved without a snake predator on the island, so really no natural awareness or natural defense against those snakes. So it was very quickly a problem. Conservation efforts have been centered around trying to remove the snake, which is a very difficult task to clear a snake species off of an island. So that's where this Palmyra Atoll has come into play, is that it is snake free and is a great opportunity to try and breed these birds back in the wild and hopefully get them back onto the island of Guam eventually.
I see, and they've been behind the scenes at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago for a long time.
That's right. So we've had them since the beginning in the 1980s, and over 80 birds have been born here at Brookfield Zoo and successfully contributed into that population. We have 16 right now, but we're very excited to have one on habitat finally, where our guests can see it and be able to really start to tell this incredible conservation story.
What can we do? I mean, when you think of extinction, that's forever, and luckily because of zoos like yours, you're able to reintroduce into the wild, but I mean, that's a scary thought.
It is. It really is. One of the things that I think we all can do is really take the global wildlife trafficking threat seriously. And so this illegal movement of animals and animal products between different locations can lead to the introduction of animals into environments where they don't belong. So the Burmese python in Florida is a great example of that, where common pet species has been released back into the wild and is just wreaking havoc on the Everglades. It's an environment where the snakes don't belong, very effective predator, and again are causing population declines of a number of species. So really making sure that we're not moving animals where they don't belong.
Good advice. And again, you can see the Guam kingfisher right here in Tropic World at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago.
So you come in here, you bring in your own kicks, and then you can pick a patch, you can pick a swatch, you can pick maybe rope laces, some bling, something shiny, something sparkly, and customize your shoes. I have the Chicago shoe here, but I've seen everything from a little SpongeBob to a little something like, let's say you're with a wedding party. So let me tell you how it all works. Michael Branch is the manager, and he's going to tell us how it works here at Sneakerhead University. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
So essentially what Sneakerhead University is somewhere you can come. All you need is an all-white sneaker. It could be Advanced, Chuck Taylor, or Air Force, and we just help you customize it. You can pick any of these materials, and put it right on your sneaker.
Okay, so we were talking about, you know, it's Orange Friday over at Fox 32. We're going to do a bear shoe.
Bears.
Sound good? Okay, great. So this is sort of the studio or whatever. And I guess the great thing is you can bring a party of people. You can come with your spouse, right?
Yeah,
Anything?
for sure. So essentially what I have right here is a layout and plan. So when you come to Sneakerhead University, this is essentially going to be your guide. You just want to color it in, and we just kind of help you customize. But right now, we already have something set up for you.
Right.
So in the meantime, we're going to just start splattering your shoe. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and throw these gloves on.
Okay, I guess I should start with the gloves first.
And I'm going to put one on just to show you as well.
This is so great because it could be sports related, it could be any kind of theme.
Yeah, you can do it for like a favorite color, favorite team, a birthday, someone you really care about.
Okay.
Essentially, you could just express yourself right on the sneaker.
Alrighty, so what do I need to do?
So let's start with your orange, since it's Orange Friday. So you're going to take 1 dip, 2 dip, 3 dip.
Okay.
You're going to get it really, really sauced
2,
up.
3.
Swirl this around and just flick.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry,
Deep. Watch out.
Let me get the other one.
I'm sorry, I got a mean flick, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I love it. I mean, just looks great.
Probably get some more in the back area. Just flick real good, just like that. And then you probably just want to go ahead and get some of that white on there.
Okay, so let's get some white. Whoop. Okay, I'll try not to, to spray it as much. Hope this stuff washes off. Oh, I love it. It's a great look. Now, what's with the rope laces? Those are really big right now.
Yeah, so right now, people love the rope laces. We also have some over-the-top zigzag laces that's off-white inspired as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to put these in there, and then you're going to put these right on top. So also, we're going to give these a second blow dry, but if you want, we can also go into dyeing the insole as well. So what you want to do is take this, just so we can turn this navy as well. You're going to give this a little twirl, tap it, and just go right on top, just like that.
Oh, all right. Okay, as I do that, you got to show this is a guy's shoe, but show the lady's shoe. I love this bear shoe. Who wouldn't want to wear that? Natalie, this has you written all over it. Little bling, Chicago Bears.
This has been your Fox 32 Week in Review. Until next time.